CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
And this is the key. Stay hydrated.
You'll be hearing that a lot tonight. Our region gears up for what will be a hot national holiday week. Good evening. It's nice to be back with you. We're looking at a week of wickedly warm temperatures ahead. So high, in fact, that heat warnings blanket the region this hour, and it can become dangerous. Let's get right to CTV's Luke Samardi. Joins us live tonight with more on when or if we can expect some reprieve. Luke.
Well, Sarah, school has let out for the summer, and the temperatures have let out as well as the region deals with what could be its first heat wave of the summer. If you're looking for a game of pickleball, early bird gets the worm.
Playing a great pickleball and enjoying the summer. It's hot, buddy, but it works.
And if you're hitting the court, doing what you can to stay safe.
I'm not complaining. We had such a crappy winter. I'm happy to be out here.
Staying hydrated, not wearing heavy clothes, staying in light clothes, staying hydrated, and maybe going inside for a little bit of
sunscreen, staying hydrated, staying in the shade, and just like staying in the air conditioning, staying cool, maybe taking a dip in the water.
With temperatures expected to climb into the 30s this week, Environment and Climate Change Canada climatologists are saying get used to it.
Hey, this is the first one, but not the last one. And so we're clearly seeing this as kind of the opening act to what we think will be the kind of flavor and personality of the rest of the summer in July, August, and maybe even to September.
With Phillips adding temperatures recorded outside are in the shade, with the sun shining making it feel even hotter.
It's very stressful on the body, and that's why it's usually the first one. The long one is the most unhealthy ones.
The Simcoe District Health Unit reminding the public to do what they can to stay cool and look for warning signs of heat exhaustion.
It may start out with dizziness. It may have headache. You may have headaches. You could have nausea that can progress to much more serious symptoms.
And if the symptoms get worse,
it's very important to remain hydrated and keep the salt balance up. And then ultimately, heat exhaustion can lead to heat stroke, which is a life-threatening illness, which could be fatal if precautions aren't taken, such as getting to medical attention.
Now, the Simcoe District Health Unit also reminding the public to check in on your loved ones during these weeks of high heat, and that includes young children and seniors who can be more susceptible to symptoms. Sarah.
Now, Luke, you also have us covered for weather tonight as Casey is on vacation, so let's get right into those warnings that are in place.
Yeah, Sarah, earlier today, Environment and Climate Change Canada did issue heat warnings for most of the province, really, and right here in Simcoe County, we are under a orange warning, so we could really see those temperatures anywhere from 32 to 36 degrees. Elsewhere, you can see those temperatures where the yellow warning is to 32 degrees, but of course that humidity and the humidex will be pushing those temperatures much higher, closer to 40 degrees. Now tonight there is a nice little wind making its way through the area this evening, so it is really cooling things down quite nicely as we make our way into Monday. And like you said, pretty much a holiday week with Wednesday being Canada Day. Let's go and take our first look at weather. Of course, that is brought to you by graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. Taking a look around the region this evening, we did see 26 degrees outside, and like I said, some nice cooler winds making their way through the region right now, coming from the southeast at 13 kilometers an hour. Here's a look at temperatures right around the area. You are seeing about 29 in Algonquin Park, 27 in Gravenhurst, 26 right through Collingwood, Barrie, as well as Newmarket, 25 in Orillia, 27 in Alliston, and 28 in Toronto. A quick look at the radar. Really doesn't show any pockets of moisture making its way through the region yet, Sarah, but just stay tuned because we are dealing with these warm temperatures. We are dealing with the humidity. And that sounds like a perfect mixture for some thunderstorms to make their way to the region.
All right, thanks for that, Luke. We will see you a little later in the newscast. Now, with those high temperatures, our beaches, rivers, lakes, they're full of people that are looking to beat the heat this week. But, well, it's a good way to keep cool. It does come with potential for some danger. Let's go to CTV's Jack Morris. He spoke with South Simcoe Police earlier today about how to stay safe out on the water. Jack, what was the main message?
Well, Sarah, the big one is to be prepared. That's what police are telling us. Don't take your safety for granted and be paying attention so that you can keep yourself and the people that you are with safe when you're out on the water. One of the best ways to do that is to wear a life jacket. Whether you're on the boat, the dock, or relaxing in a floater, or even swimming, a life jacket can save you in an accident. An emergency kit can help a lot too, with water and some food, a fully charged cell phone. So if your boat breaks down, you're able to call for help and, you're comfortable while you're waiting for someone to come. You can also use a noisemaker to get attention to people. If you're going to be the one driving that boat, well, then you got to stay sober.
It is paramount for the safety of everybody out on the water. It also carries very serious consequences. So if you are caught with an above legal limit of alcohol and operating a vessel, you will lose your driver's license for the same 90-day period that you would as if you were operating a vehicle. So we'd like to remind everybody that the consequences are real. There is a criminal offense that you would be charged with if you are caught drinking and operating a boat.
Now, officers are out in force across the region's lakes already. Holidays and long weekends are particularly dangerous because there's so many people on our waterways. It's so busy then. With lots of people out from visiting our region, it's even more important to stay attentive and stay safe. Sarah.
That's our Jack Morris reporting live now. I will add that a little later in the newscast, we'll be joined by the County of Simcoe Paramedic Deputy Chief here in the CTV Barrie studio. We'll talk about how their team is preparing for Canada Day. Thanks for that, Jack. In other news tonight, police swarmed Innisfil's north end this morning after reports of an active shooter. We did receive some calls about this. This was the scene near 10th Line and 25th Side Road just before 11:30 a.m. So Simcoe police say the coast is now clear because those reports, they turned out to be false. Officers say there were no injuries and no sign of a weapon in that area. Investigators are calling the incident sensitive in nature, but say they will not be releasing any further details. A disturbing discovery in Innisfil, where a man was found dead behind the wheel. So Simcoe police were called to a home on Innisfil Beach Road. This was on Saturday night for what was first reported as a personal injury crash. Well, when police arrived, they found a 30-year-old man dead inside the vehicle. Police say he was the only person in the car at that time. Few details have been released, but the coroner's office is now leading that investigation. Meanwhile, Barrie police are investigating what they're calling a sudden death. Paramedics responded to a call on Friday around 12:30 a.m. at the Highway 400 North and Bayfield off-ramp. A person was brought to the local hospital where police say they died of an overdose, but adding as of this morning, an investigation is now underway. But right now, they say there's no indication of foul play. One person was brought to hospital after a crash in King City today. Here's a shot from our CTV helicopter. This happened on Keele Street and 16th Side Road. According to York Regional Police, it involved two cars and a person from one of them was seriously injured. The area was closed as investigators worked on the scene. Now moving a little farther west, emergency crews responded to this crash on Highway 10 in Caledon this afternoon. A transport truck and at least one other vehicle were involved. Both ended up in the ditch. An orange air ambulance also responded. Full details on the injuries at this point not known. A busy Barrie Street was closed for hours on Sunday after a 15-year-old boy crashed his e-scooter. Barrie police say it happened just before 1 p.m. on Little Avenue between Huronia Road and Yonge Street. The boy was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police closed the road while they investigated, but no word on any charges. A Barrie man who openly flouted the criminal justice system online while on trial has now been sentenced. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports on the disturbing case of Dylan Zona.
3 of your officers are reporting to be afraid of me and their wives and their mothers. You might as well make me an offer I can't refuse. Let's be real here.
Dylan Zona will be staying in jail for another 16 months for hate-motivated crimes against police officers and their female partners. Zona was convicted of criminal harassment and telecommunications when he targeted 2 Barrie police officers and their spouses between 2022 and 2024. Justice Nancy Dawson sentenced Zona to 32 months, less time served.
You'll never be able to prove who.
The court heard Zona use social media to target the 2 male officers and their loved ones online, obsessively messaging them, making lewd remarks, tracking personal accounts, taking photos of their partners and impersonating one of the officers to contact unsuspecting family and friends. In one case, he contacted the mother of one officer and threatened to harm their children and poison their dog, saying he had the right to put one of the officers 6 feet under. All after Zona had been previously charged by the 2 Barrie police officers. Zona begged for forgiveness. He told the court he was battling mental health issues and abusing alcohol, saying he heard voices and became angry with police. The court was provided no medical records to confirm his claims.
There wasn't a conviction today for the contempt.
2 years ago, Zona was facing a potential contempt of court charge after he told the regional senior judge to shut her mouth. During trial, Zona mocked the court on his Facebook page, making vulgar and misogynistic remarks, insulting police, judges, and female court staff, blaming his actions on bad police interactions. He told the court he is getting help while in jail and wants to go back to school, get a job, and start a family. Your Honor, I promise you, if you give me a second chance, I won't mess it up. I will continue to get the help I need and get my life together. Crown Attorney Indy Candola questioned Zona's sincerity, accusing Zona of being especially angry toward women, and that his misogyny included a post with a caption that the female judge show him her breasts. Zona said, "I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't killed anybody. I can still say I am sorry. I understand. It's an honest mistake. It's words." "You're not sorry," Candola told Zona. "You're sorry you were found guilty." The Crown, when reached for comment, told CTV News he tried to diminish the female victims and justice system participants because of their gender, including the judge, while blinded by hate, adding, "What he will likely never fully appreciate is that the judge used all of her acquired knowledge and skill through her years of hard work and dedication and demonstrated great restraint in his favor, a level of restraint that only a seasoned, experienced, thoughtful, and intelligent woman could demonstrate."
Flipped off to the judge.
Justice Dawson said Zona had a lack of insight into his actions and is ordered not to communicate with his victims or make threatening comments or posts to police officers or their family members on social media. Zona is also ordered to stay away from Barrie once out of jail. Upon his release from custody, Justice Dawson has also banned Zona from having weapons on him for 20 years. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Bradford.
Police are investigating after gunfire erupted outside a Caledon home. Officers were called to Bambi Trail just after 2:15 a.m. on Wednesday. Police say shots were fired in front of the home, but no one was hurt. A white sedan was seen speeding away from the scene. Investigators believe that the shooting was targeted and are now searching for more information. 3 suspects were arrested after a stolen vehicle incident in Caledon late Saturday night. Police were called to suspicious activity on Coleraine Drive just before 11 p.m. Officers attempted to stop a vehicle that was leaving the area, but say that the driver fled, lost control, and crashed the vehicle. That person was taken into custody along with 2 others found nearby. The 3, all from Brampton, are facing possession of stolen property charges. The driver is also facing additional charges, including fleeing police and dangerous driving. A $2 million home in the Blue Mountains has been destroyed in an overnight fire. Crews were called to Delphi Lane near Highway 26 just after 4:30 a.m. on Saturday. The home, still under construction, was already in flames by the time that the crews arrived. No one was inside at the time, but police say the fire is being treated as suspicious. The home has been deemed a total loss, and the Ontario Fire Marshal is now investigating. And we got a few calls about this one as well. Nearly 10,000 Barrie residents were left without power this afternoon. Electra says the outage hit homes and businesses east of Highway 400, north of Dunlop Street West. It started just after 12 when a piece of equipment malfunctioned near Cundles Road East and Duckworth Street. Electra says power was back on for everyone by 1 p.m. this afternoon. York Regional Police swore in Chief Paulo Da Silva today. Da Silva was appointed from his rank of Deputy Chief, where he led the Community Safety Branch and oversaw all 5 of the services district and 3 substations. He began his policing career back in '93 and joined YRP in 1997. The service highlighted his community-focused approach, innovation, and professional development. Still to come here on CTV Barrie, you may have noticed some unusual activity at a busy Barrie Beach this weekend. Well, these athletes combining life-saving skills with friendly competition for this first-of-its-kind challenge found here in our region. Plus, Lake Simcoe, also home to the largest kids fishing event in Canada. We'll take you there next. Please do stay with us. presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. It's got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Thanks for staying with us. First up, it's played around the world, and now right here in our region, a new beach competition for junior lifeguards, putting speed, strategy, and life-saving skills all to the test.
Headers ready, heads down.
It's really exciting, and it's similar to musical chairs because there's always one less flag than there are people, so you're always competing against people beside you.
This game is it's really helpful to help spot targets at a distance and practicing running on sand, which is a little bit different than running on regular ground, right?
It's kind of just all myself in my head, and I'm kind of just running to try and get a flag. So it's a lot of mental, trying just to push yourself to your best.
The goal is to get more lifeguards to come, test out their skills on the sand and go from there.
Now, this is the first year the Georgina Rapids Aquatic Club hosted the Dash for Flags competition, working with the Life Saving Society. Roughly 40 athletes, some as young as 12 years old, came out. Thousands of young anglers lined the shore of Lake Simcoe for a day of free fun.
It's just fun to fish, so I love it. It was really cool.
We are running our 20th Kids Fishing Day event. This is put on by the Kempenfeld Rotary Club, and this would be the largest kids fishing event in the country.
We really try to get kids back engaged with the outside. This really is a give back event for our club, and it's amazing to see the community out. We got close to 2,000 kids, all their parents and other loved ones. We probably got close to 5,000 people in the park today, and this is what Barrie's all about, is getting out and experiencing Barrie, so we're happy for it. It's awesome to see, young kids pass it on to other generations, but it's just great for kids to get out here, experience the waterfront, and try to catch a couple fish.
It's fun. It makes you want to do it more. It's just always fun. It's exciting, and it's just like you want to keep catching, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a higher chance of catching more fish now. It's really cool.
Yeah?
I like it because I don't have a rod at home, so then I can just get a free one.
Yes, in fact, everyone who received one of those rods from the Rotary Club was allowed to take it home with them. The hope that kids keep on fishing. The temperature outside may not feel like the festive season, but in the Sunshine City, it sure looked like Christmas in June. Docks across the port of Orillia were filled with decorations, festive crews, plenty of holiday spirit found in the summer. From best costumed crew to best decorated and even best bribe, the city thanks everyone who came together to deck their docks and boats, and it surely would have made jolly old St. Nick proud. Still to come, it was a beautiful day on the links, and some of our CTV family was there to support the cause. We'll let you know how it helps to keep seniors social. In fact, one of our own, Luke, was there. Heard you were best on the team.
I tried my best, Sarah. I really did try my best. Yes, a beautiful day. And hey, if we're talking about golf and you're thinking, well, maybe I want to go and hit the links, you're going to want to stay tuned because we'll have your weather forecast coming up just after the break. But first, let's go and take a look at our weather watcher, Sophia. Sophia, that rain and thunder doesn't scare you at all. You're ready to be outside enjoying that sun with those flowers and everything else. Thank you so much for your pictures. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hey, it's Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Asia at Casino Rama.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
You guessed it, this week for Picture This, we are celebrating Canada Day. Show us your patriotism through however you are marking the national holiday. A parade, a park, at home. Continue to capture those photos or dig them up. We like some vintage photos from time to time as well. Picture This at ctv.ca. Now let's get back to that weekend, because as I mentioned, some of our CTV Barrie team was spreading awareness about seniors isolation, and they did it one swing at a time. Saturday marked the first Karen Stacey Memorial Golf Tournament. That was at Shanty Bay Golf Club, a day to honor Karen's legacy of kindness, compassion, and bringing people together. The money raised goes towards outreach support as social isolation. It's a growing challenge.
June is Seniors Month, and people don't realize how easy it is to lose connection. I mean, slowly as you progress through life, you lose your friends, you lose your family, you lose your loved ones, and that's where many of our inner circles are. And again, that's our focus is family, and making sure that everyone remains connected.
The Karen Stacey Memorial Tournament, sponsored by Roberta Place Lodge, raised nearly $10,000. That'll be used for programs that foster connection amongst local seniors. CTV News, Pure Country 106, Bounce 104.1, all proud sponsors, media sponsors of that event. Time to head back to Luke. He joins us live once again tonight. I was so disappointed that I was out of town for this tournament, because when we all played, the group of us last summer, you were the glue that held the team together. Luke, with your positive attitude. I don't know, has the golf come along though?
Yeah, it's slowly getting better. I think I only lost like 3 or 4 balls, Sarah, on Saturday. What a great time. Jack Morris was also there, along with our operation floaters, Jocelyn and David Sullivan. So overall, a great time raising money for a great initiative. And, you know, you got me thinking about golf now, Sarah. We just want to be out on the links. It's a fantastic evening for a nice twilight round if you are able to. But as we head on into the week, you're going to want to make sure you're paying attention to that forecast, because all of this humidity is creating that unsettled weather. And that's where we begin tonight. We begin with heat warnings really right through most of our region. Now, we do have an orange warning in the Barrie region, as well as south towards Newmarket and Toronto. And that means we're seeing temperatures between 32 and 36 degrees. And that doesn't include the humidity or the humidex, where you're seeing a yellow heat warning in the Aurelia and just west of Orangeville. You could see temperatures ranging from 32 degrees with the humidex closer to 39, even 40 degrees. So yes, quite warm outside if you are heading out. Make sure you bring a water bottle with you if you do. Let's go and take a look at temperatures right now. There's the humidex for you on your screen. It is a little bit warmer out there than what the thermometer is saying. Feels like 30 degrees in Barrie, Aurelia, as well as Newmarket, 31 in Alliston, 27 degrees in Parry Sound, feeling like 31 as well. We're really not going to get a break from these warm temperatures for most of the week. Let's go and take a look at the almanac for today. We did reach a high of 27 degrees, a low of 13.5. So in terms of normal temperatures, we're kind of hovering right in around where we should be. But once again, it's that humidity, that humidex, that's really pushing things just a tad further to make it feel like it really is hotter than what it is. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:37 a.m., sunset 9:07 p.m. Yes, the days have begun to get shorter if you're paying attention. Here's a quick look at your satellite and radar. We do see that risk of a thunderstorm overnight and into Tuesday morning. With that humidity, that's what we very well could see. A mix of sun and cloud, though, 40% chance of rain overnight tonight before you do see that risk of a thunderstorm early tomorrow morning. Here's a look at your temperatures overnight. You're seeing 19 degrees right through this region with that chance of rain and a risk of a thunderstorm. 19 in Penetanguishene, as well as Aurelia, Barrie, Collingwood, and Owen Sound. Tomorrow, you will continue to see that risk of a thunderstorm really right through. You're seeing highs of 32 degrees in Wasaga Beach, Barrie, Collingwood, as well as Aurelia. The humidity is going to be pushing these temperatures closer to 36, 37 degrees. Penetanguishene, Midland, 31. Owen Sound, 29. Once again, that risk of a thunderstorm because of that humidity making its way through the region. Overnight in York region, you could see a low of around 19 degrees. That risk of a thunderstorm does remain. About a 40 to 50% chance of some rain overnight as well. So not smooth sailing entirely into tomorrow either right through York region. You are seeing that risk of a thunderstorm. And once again, fairly hot temperatures. 32 degrees in Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, 33 in Richmond Hill, and about 31 degrees in Orangeville. Now, if you're sneaking out of work early tonight, tomorrow, we won't tell your boss. Overnight lows 18 degrees, Parry Sound, Huntsville, as well as Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, 17 degrees in Haliburton. That risk of a thunderstorm does remain right through our viewing region. Tomorrow, a little bit on the cooler side if you're driving all the way up to Huntsville. 24 degrees, 29 in Haliburton, 24 as well in Parry Sound, 31 in Bracebridge and Gravenhurst. Once again, that risk of a thunderstorm, you saw it on that radar. It is making its way potentially tomorrow morning, and once again, that risk will return throughout the afternoon. Let's go and take a look at our 5-day forecast. That's brought to you by Diamond and Diamond Lawyers. Throughout Simcoe County, we're not going to get a break anytime soon. Canada Day, 32 degrees. That risk of a thunderstorm does remain really right through the week. We will see a high of 33 on Thursday. That's about as warm as it's going to get for the next 5 days. Your overnight lows, you're not really getting a break from the heat either. Climatologist Dave Phillips really said, yes, we are seeing those vacation-like temperatures overnight at 22 and 21 as your lows. In York region, we are seeing similar conditions as well. You are seeing right into the low to mid 30s. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. You're seeing 34 degrees on Thursday with that chance of rain right through the region. You can see, once again, 40 to 50% chance of rain, a mix of sun and cloud. With that humidity, you could see that risk of a thunderstorm making its way to the region. You do get a little bit of a break on Saturday night with a low of around 19 degrees. Your 5-day forecast for Muskoka, Parry Sound, and Haliburton. Canada Day, 31 degrees with a low of 21. But once again, that mix of sun and cloud for the next 5 days. You could see that risk of a thunderstorm as well. We like to call this unsettled weather, Sarah, because we really don't know what's going to happen, but we figured something will probably happen because of this humidity.
All right, let's expand on that because Ontario and even parts of Quebec are bracing for the first major heat wave of the summer. And now with the sweltering conditions expected to last for days and humidex values climbing into the 40s, experts are considering that dangerous. With more, here's CTV's John Venevalley-Rao.
Under an intense sun and temperatures starting to soar, in Toronto, many taking the season's first major heat wave in stride.
Kind of disgusted, but also I love warm weather and winter makes me sad, so I'll take the heat.
Environment Canada issuing orange and yellow warnings for much of Ontario for what it's calling a long-duration heat event. Temperatures climbing to 35 or more by midweek, and the humidex expected to be in the 40s. While southern Quebec is also expecting to feel the heat starting Wednesday.
This has got all the elements of it that makes it a really good old-fashioned classic July heat wave. The length, the heat, the humidity.
It's all part of a sprawling heat dome, also baking large parts of the central and eastern U.S. as Americans prepare to celebrate the country's 250th anniversary. And amid World Cup games and festivities, these fans trying to stay cool in Texas. In Toronto, the temperature is expected to be above 30 Celsius for at least 6 days in a row. And Canada Day is expected to be one of the hottest ever, with a forecast high of 35 without the humidity. In Windsor, 36, and it could break a record.
Yeah, drink a lot of water and enjoy.
Experts say the first heat wave is usually the most dangerous and are advising people to stay hydrated and out of the sun to avoid heat stroke.
I think people need to remember that extreme heat is dangerous, especially to older individuals, especially to people with pre-existing medical problems.
That danger has been felt across Europe, where the heat wave there has brought about a spike in deaths. The two weather events aren't linked, but share similarities.
So we're under the same kind of a weather pattern. It's a high pressure area that sits there and won't leave.
Meanwhile, Environment Canada models suggest in parts of the country it will be a warmer than normal summer. And Dave Phillips suggests this heat wave may just be a taste of what's to come. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The provincial government wants to make it easier for anglers and hunters to get licenses and tags. A new digital system for fishing and hunting licensing will be launching in early 2027. It's called Fish Hunt On. It will operate alongside existing channels, but will also have a mobile app. The service will give approximately 1.5 million anglers and hunters another way to keep track of those tags and licenses. Another record-setting month for the RVH Auxiliary 50/50 draw.
Surprised, shocked. I mean, it's a nice feeling.
That's Roseanne, who's now won $344,000. That's the largest June jackpot in history. A longtime supporter of the auxiliary lottery with a ticket automatically purchased every month. And the reason to support for her, it's close to home.
This is my go-to hospital. I mean, I've had heart events, and this is where I come. So, and in the beginning, I had to go down to Newmarket, or Toronto General, but now I do more of my procedures and examinations and stuff here, so it's great.
The next grand prize deadline for the RVH Auxiliary 50/50 draw is July 29th at 11:59 p.m. One of these months I'll win, I'm sure of it. Still to come with a busy Hot Canada Day comes with an increase in calls for emergency services. So coming up next here on CTV Barrie, we're going to be joined by the County of Simcoe Paramedic Services to discuss what the team expects and how they prepare for the inevitable. Recapping our top stories, with temperatures expected to climb into the 30s this week, Environment Canada climatologists are saying get used to the heat. The Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit adding that the public needs to do what they can to stay cool and always look for warning signs of heat exhaustion. The South Simcoe Police Service Marine Unit, meanwhile, is reminding people to be prepared. We're out on the water and don't take safety for granted. Think about what you can do to protect yourself. Patrols will be on the waterways this Canada Day looking for licenses and to make sure that no one is under the influence. Well, with Canada Day almost upon us, a spike in calls to the county paramedics is expected, but the team says that they are ready. Joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio is the Deputy Chief Patrick Herview of the County of Simcoe Paramedics. Great to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about Canada Day. This is a big one. What do you and the rest of your staff do to prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, Canada Day is a great holiday for us in the community. We have a ton of events. We have a ton of people coming to visit, which we love. Want them to take advantage of the County of Simcoe. So for us, we really plan on staffing, making sure that we have enough ambulances and coverage. If we feel that there's a big, festival, we're going to make sure to support that. One of the really good things we have is our paramedics on bicycles. So you'll see them out and about in your community riding around. They have all the medical equipment there to mobilize if something happens. Be sure to say hi to them if you see them. They'll be riding around safety first, and then any questions, just reach out to them.
Do you amp up staff for busy holidays like this?
Yeah. So we always forecast out as far as we can with the summer because there's so many activities in the community. We make sure that we try to support it through staffing. So if we see that there's a large festival and we expect a higher foot traffic, we'll actually support it with another ambulance and some extra staff. And then we'll try to mobilize our bike event wherever we can, get them on any scene that we can to help alleviate that pressure.
Gosh, we're looking at some video right now of one of our, really busy local beaches with the heat and then that many people. What are the kind of calls that we're seeing on a day like Canada Day? Let's talk about a hot one.
Yeah, a hot one for us is it's always being mindful of being out in the sun. We start with the basics. Make sure to wear sunscreen, apply it regularly. Hydration is everything. If you feel that you're vulnerable, make sure you keep some electrolytes in your bag. But really try to get people to start planning. We don't want to say don't have fun. Have fun, just plan appropriately. And if that means having some good snacks and some water and some hydration, that's key. And for us, if we're talking around the water, our biggest thing is, wearing a life jacket is cool. It saves a lot of lives. They're very important. One of the things we talk about with water safety is having children or people that aren't the strongest swimmers, making sure that someone's there to support them, making sure that they're actually in an arm's length. Unfortunately, drowning is quick and it's silent, so the closer you can be to their help and respond, the more appropriate the outcome is going to be, and we want to make sure that everybody enjoys our community, but they do it safely.
Well, and expanding on that, I think often on holidays like Canada Day, there are people that are indulging, having some drinks. Do you get calls related to those kinds of things, issues?
Yeah, we definitely do. There's alcohol-related calls, and again, what we try to say is we're not here to say anything other than have fun, but between those alcohol drinks, try to slide in some waters when you can. Make sure to eat. And first and foremost, if you're drinking, please don't operate anything mechanical. Enjoy yourself, but enjoy yourself safely.
The drone program that the county has been working on, does that come into play on busy days like this?
Yeah, so it can definitely come into play. We have a lot of people who frequent the county trails. They're hiking, they're out biking on the rail trail, whatever it is. And sometimes they lose their way. One of the exciting benefits of the program is we're able to support some of those remote rescue pieces with drones. We have them across the county. Our staff are well trained, and they'll come up and they'll find you if they have to. We're able to communicate to the people. We have infrared. We find them quite quickly and quite well. So we're really excited to have the support of the drone program added to the county paramedics.
Very cool technology. It's amazing to see how far it's come.
Totally is.
Thank you for taking the time to speak to our viewers, Deputy Chief.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Let's go ahead and bring up the CTV Barrie website, because this conversation, along with the entire newscast, in fact, anything that you see during the 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock show, will be found at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Turning to business news now, today marks 19 years since the first iPhone went on sale. Can you believe that? Went on sale back in June 29th of 2007, sold roughly for $500 US. It came with 4 gigabytes of storage. Original iPhone wasn't available here in Canada. It wasn't until that 3G version came through, but that wasn't until 2008. Moving right into our markets on this Monday, the TSX was down 156 points. The Dow was up 306, and the Nasdaq was up 522. And commodities, oil was up, closing at $70.75 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,038 an ounce, and our dollar was down, ending the day at 70.39 cents US. Okay, quite a bit of sports news to share, beginning with the NHL entry draft. It was this weekend, and a pair of our Barrie Colts have been selected. The Vegas Golden Knights chose Ben Wilmot in the 3rd round with the 92nd overall pick. Barrie acquired the American forward from the London Knights back in January. He averaged more than a point per game as a Colt in the regular season and during their run to the OHL championship. Then in the 4th round, the Pittsburgh Penguins selected defenseman Parker von Richter with the 111th overall pick. PVR was also acquired by the Colts midseason, and he became a mainstay on their defense second pair. Moving into the diamond, not quite as positive, because Saturday was another rough outing for the Barrie Bay Cats.
Fans in full throat here at Hastings. The 2-2. Chopper down the line. That one's going to go off the glove. Over to first, and not in time. This game is tied.
So Barrie lost 3-2 in Guelph against the Royals, dropping back-to-back games. That's the first time that's happened this season. The Bay Cats will face the Majors in London. That'll be on Canada Day. A familiar face, Bo Bichette, is set to return to the Rogers Centre tonight for the first time since signing with the New York Mets this offseason.
Who hits it high in the air to deep center? It is gone!
Bichette spent 7 seasons in Toronto, earning 2 All-Star selections before signing a 3-year deal with the Mets this offseason. The Jays will be looking to snap a 6-game losing streak when they begin their series with New York tonight. First pitch just after 7 p.m. Canadian soccer fans, boy, are we still basking in the glow of victory after last night's FIFA World Cup match. And as Team Canada moves on to the round of 16, there's a new sense of pride that's pretty hard to miss. CTV's Adrian Gabriel brings us some more.
From patriotic pandemonium on the Pacific coast to a triumphant tidal wave of emotion along the shores of Lake Ontario. Inside bars in Montreal and watch parties in Edmonton, Canada's win is quickly becoming a where were you moment in Canadian sports history.
I was watching the game a bit at my house, and then I went to my aunt's house for a bit.
There's a great patio down the street from my house.
I was watching at home.
Schaffelberg's ball into the box, headed away by Ocon. It's Eustachio!
The swift and steady right foot of Stefan Eustachio catapulting Canada to victory. The team, this World Cup, has galvanized a nation.
They did it! I'm crying.
Overcome with emotion, Canadian women's soccer legend Christine Sinclair's tears of joy offer a glimpse of what this moment means for the sport and our country.
Okay, let's book our flight.
To the round of 16 at the World Cup.
Thousands did book a flight to LA to witness history in person. Thousands more will now head to Houston. On home soil, the win for some supersedes soccer.
We're living in a time where we're rethinking what it means to be Canadian. Having cultural touchstones like soccer matches and the program succeeding like it never has before, I think that's important to us.
You guys are Canadian heroes.
Coach Jesse Marsh's pitch-side post-game speech sharing what this victory could mean.
Canadian heroes for the future children of this country.
country who play this sport. The sport has a big future because of you guys.
If these pint-sized players on the pitch are any indication, Marcia's pep talk is on the mark.
What do you love about soccer?
When you get a lot of good goals. Well, I usually play defense.
At my old school, soccer was like the biggest thing ever. Like, we fought over which fields we would play in. I could be a really good soccer player one day.
As the country falls in love with the beautiful game, the ties that bond a nation are pulled together.
A soccer awakening is afoot across Canada. As the men's national team elevates their game, a country is taking notice and taking to the pitch. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
And it's not just Canada's soccer team that's appearing on the world stage. Basketball is in the spotlight too. Coming up next on CTV Barrie, when our men's national team will be facing off against some of the best on the planet. Time now to take a look at your Monday night primetime lineup. Back-to-back episodes of Suits starting at 8 o'clock, Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. The World Cup has been dominating these sports headlines, but the Canadian men's national basketball team will also be playing on the world stage soon. CTV's Mike Walker has more.
Back on home soil, Canada's men's senior team opening training camp in Toronto as the road to the FIBA World Cup continues. The national team led by NBA champion and two-time MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Playing for your country is something I dreamed about as a kid, and being able to have the opportunity to do so, I just choose the opportunity to do so every single time. It's that simple for me.
The Hamilton native named team captain, a role he will share with the Phoenix Suns star Dylan Brooks.
I think he's very unrattled, and that's why he's our captain of our team. Super composed, knows the game.
Brooks and Nickeil Alexander-Walker are among the notable NBA stars among the 16 players on the roster for the next set of qualifying games. Canada has dominated the FIBA qualifiers so far, undefeated in 4 games and sitting in first place in its group.
They're already in the driver's seat. All Canada really has to do is hold serve here. They've certainly got the talent to do it.
The goal is to reach the podium, building on the success of the 2023 World Cup that saw Canada defeat the U.S. in the bronze medal game, its best finish ever.
The vision is gold, World Cup, Olympics.
The new head coach looking to build a foundation requiring a 3-year commitment from the players.
We have a group of elite individuals and a lot of players who can impact the game in different ways. But first and foremost, we need to create a team mentality. It just doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time.
Canada will play its next 2 games of the qualifiers at TD Coliseum in Hamilton, starting on Friday against Puerto Rico and then July 6 against Jamaica.
Playing at home and playing in front of the home crowd is something you definitely want to do.
We very rarely get opportunities to play in our country.
But hundreds of tickets remain unsold, prompting the team's GM to make an appeal to fans.
We need to fill the stadium, right? There's players here that want something for their country, and their country has to want it for them too.
The TD Coliseum announcing today it will debut a court in honor of Gilgeous-Alexander at the World Cup qualifiers it's hosting. Mike Walker, CTV News.
All right, Luke, remind us just how warm it'll be first thing tomorrow morning.
Sarah, waking up tomorrow will be 21 degrees in Barrie and Newmarket with that risk of a thunderstorm, and 19 in Gravenhurst with a risk of a thunderstorm. Back to you.
I'm Sarah Freemark. It's so good to be back with you. Thanks for joining us. Good night.